So about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I went out with a good friend of mine and my cousin to Zion National Park in Utah. And if you haven't been, I highly recommend it. It's beautiful. There's nothing else like it that I've ever seen, and I like to think that I've seen some shit. But if you get a chance, definitely go out. But the story has nothing to do with Zion National Park in particular. Just on the way back, I had a flight to catch that was before my friend and my cousin's flight. We're flying out of Las Vegas. And so we got up, we broke camp, giving ourselves plenty of time. And so we're driving back towards Vegas, and my cousin, suddenly just is hit with a horrible realization. He goes, shit, I forgot to compensate for the time difference. So we gained an hour and we had some time to kill. So we ended up, sort of taking the scenic route. And on the scenic route, we see this car pulled over on the side of the road. And my cousin is a delightful person, extremely intelligent, kind of goofy, as comes with, high IQs. And he's also single. So he sees this car and he kind of slows down, and we're passing it, and he starts verbalizing his intentions or fantasy, whichever you want to believe, that he was thinking maybe there was a beautiful stranded woman on the side of the road in the middle of the desert that desperately needed water or a car wash or some shit like that. And so he was going to go back and rescue this woman, and they would live happily ever after. Side note, there's a gun in the center console. That is Southwest United States. This is normal. So that's important later. So he turns around and pulls up behind this car, and in window chalk on the rear windshield of this hybrid hatchback is written the words MD Neurochemistry. And part of me is thinking shit, it's match made in heaven. Super awkward, intelligent guy coming to rescue super awkward, intelligent woman. But it wasn't a super awkward, intelligent woman. It was Dr. Joshua Paul Leroy Beats, MD Neurochemistry. And so we pull up, we get out, and up pops Dr. Joshua Paul Leroy Beats. And for a visual, Dr. Joshua Paul Leroy Beats is wearing white shorts, sandals and socks, a white V-neck shirt, elbow-length rubber gloves, a backwards hat with massive amounts of frizzy hair coming out the side, and sunglasses with the tag hanging from the bridge of the glasses. And right away I could just see the disappointment in my cousin's face, shit. Do you want some help? And he was just need a jump. And we're okay. Do you have cables? He was yep. Runs around to the back of the hatchback and opens it up and starts just shoving shitloads of computer components aside to get to his jumper cables. And so we hook it up, and he's real adamant about how the battery in his car is behind under one of the seats, and so that's a whole ordeal because he's shoving computer components up to get to the battery, and so we hook it up and we're just waiting for it to charge, and we're all just kind of sitting there going, what the hell are we doing? And so my cousin tries to make small talk. He's so MD Neurochemistry, huh? And the dude goes, yep. No further information. What he wants to say is what the hell are you doing in the middle of the desert with what appears to be about $25,000 worth of computer components, wearing elbow-length rubber gloves, and why do you still have the tag? But he doesn't say any of this. And so finally, he tries to start his car. It turns over and it springs to life, and we're like, all right, dude, see you. And we just start disconnecting everything, and he's like, wait. And he runs to the other side and starts, pushing computer components. And my buddy takes like one step closer to the center console, knowing there's a gun there and this dude digging for stuff in the back of his hatchback, like just really weird outside of Vegas shit that you can't find anywhere else. And he comes up with this stack of papers, and we're like, okay, cool. It's just a stack of papers. And he starts rambling on about how his father was killed by the Soviets back in 1982, and his father owned everything in the universe, and then when he died, he inherited his magical abilities, and now he owns everything in the universe, and he wrote a manifesto for the new laws of the universe, and this is the rough draft. I'd like you to have it. So I still have that rough draft, which includes such gems as there are no bugs in Russia, and the sound of the toilet flushing is governed in part by the electromagnetic whatever, don't even know. But on the way back, we all got really paranoid that he had like drugged this manifesto with ricin, and as we're thoughts that come to our head. So as we're like looking up symptoms of ricin poisoning, I'm psychosomatically feeling all of these symptoms, and long story short, I didn't get ricin poisoning. And your best intentions in the middle of the desert can make for some good stories.